Hi everyone. I didn't even post my stuff up from last Friday, and LJ and I went to the Smackdown live show. Got last minute tickets in Raleigh because that's where we live. Had I went to my mom's house this weekend, we would have been at the Orlando one because she stays in Haines City. I have a brother-in-law that stays in Lake Mary. We would have went to the Orlando one tonight, and we would have stayed and went to the Tampa one. She stays in between both on Monday. But the show was overall kind of good, except for the ending. Like, we knew Roman and them was going to be the main event because we saw him come out. But honestly, they could have been a middle segment or a beginning segment because the hiatus to me wasn't as big as the rest of the show. Like, it started off the four-way match.
I remember
LA Knight was a star of the show. He didn't even win. He didn't win. They had Rey. In my mind, who was it? It was Rey, Sheamus, LA Knight, and Cody Grimes. I honestly thought it was gonna be either LA or Cameron. I didn't even think Rey. Didn't think Rey was going to do it. Because I'm like, Sheamus, but every couple months they give him a title shot. They just haven't given him a title in a while. He probably needs one. But they haven't. So, look at all my grays, y'all. That's bad, ain't it? I colored my hair to get rid of them, and they're like, nope, not going nowhere.
Yeah.
So, when you see this part, so I thought, yeah, you can watch that. So I thought honestly that they were going to give it to someone like LA Knight because he is such like Cole and Ray said, like he's gained such a phenomenon in a year. Because last year when I started watching, I think I started watching right after WrestleMania. It was controversy about Trinity and Mercedes, and I was like, what's going on? Because I haven't watched wrestling in a while. And that's what made me catch up on like Total Divas and stuff. But I watched it, and I started watching it, and LA Knight was a manager, and I was like, his character and Maxine's like character with the Maxim models doesn't seem right. Like, I was like, he's a jerk. Then when he went to LA Knight, I was talking, like, tweeting to someone. They would tell me what it mean, and I was like, okay. So, like, when he left and became LA Knight, it was a slow pickup. It was a real slow pickup because he went from people booing him to people loving him. He really has a Rock Stone Cold feel. From the boos to the yays, because they was like, you watch the Rock's story progress, and then you watch Young Rock, and if you read his book, people used to boo him all the time. I don't know, when he decided to change and be his authentic self out there, that's when he got the yes. I remember watching a video of him talking about they wanted to place him as a manager because he was 40, and I remember that was one of the reasons why Big Show, aka Paul White, had went to AEW, because they was like, when you hit a certain age in the industry, they put you out the pasture. Which is funny because most of the wrestlers now are in their 30s. Like, they're in their mid-30s. It's a couple that's in your late... First of all, most of them don't even make the main roster till you about 27. And then you don't really get clout until you're in your mid-30s. So for them to push you out the pasture, and you feel like you're just getting started. So for them to put you basically out the pasture to let the new ones come in your 40s, to me, is crazy. But yeah, he gives... First of all, I always say this every week. I love LA Knight. His gear, I love his gear. It reminds me of old 90s action star movie Jean-Claude. Like stars like Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dolph, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all of them. All of those people. You know what I'm saying? Like they had an action movie. That's what it reminds me of. And then the jacket and the bottoms, the way it's designed, gives Stone Cold. That's what people and then the way he's charismatic on the mic gives Rock, but his I don't give up attitude gives Stone Cold. That's why people say they compare him. But I think that's another reason why people love him, because he's such it gives nostalgia, even though he's current, if that makes sense. Um, but on top of that, okay, so I thought Cameron or what's the name was going to win. Honestly, I'm very pleased with the matches. There weren't a lot of talking segments today. Um, they actually had time to do matches, because normally they have the talking segments or whatever. They have 2 or 3 of those last 15 minutes, which is the time of a match. And then if they do have a match with somebody, their match gotta get cut short for the main event, so it'll be like 2 minutes. And I'll be like, and it's mainly always the females, and then the second will be a match that they don't deem as important for the males, like a guy that's up and coming, not a main type of guy. Um, so for like if you have the first match, you're guaranteed to have a good match, a long match. If you have the last match, like the ending, because they always give them the last like 20 minutes, you're guaranteed to have a good. But everybody in the middle is like screwed, depending on the time. After that, it was. I'm trying to think. I was surprised because I was like, one thing Santos going to do is ride for Rey, okay? Um, Theory came out there and attacked Rey, because Rey, I think, almost accidentally hit Theory in the chair. I said, Santos is going to ride for him, okay? That ain't even his son. If one person going to ride for somebody in WWE, it's going to be Santos. He don't care if he get beat down. But and what is going on with the tape on the shoulder? The tape been on the shoulder for about 2-3 months. So is it now like for design? And I know a lot of people in wrestling be like, underneath our gear we taped up, so we don't get hurt as much. It doesn't hurt as much. But I'm like, that shoulder been taped for a while. So now is it like Nelly, when Nelly at one point had a band-aid and then start wearing it as a design? You know what I'm saying? Like as a fashion statement, like the arm thing for Santos? Or is his like shoulder really messed up? Because if it's been messed up for that long, he need to go have surgery or some physical therapy. Like, I know he want to hold off, because I do feel like it's his time now. He won last week, which I called. And he's been in LWO. Like, people, they're trying to push, like, they said they're trying to push, like, Pretty Deadly and Grace, and what's that boy name? Grayson Waller. But I'm like, Santos and LWO came back, and I think was on Smackdown, then was on Raw for a little bit, and I was like, it's somebody's on this time. You know what I'm saying? They've been there for a while. They've been paying their dues probably. They probably been doing dark matches and live events on the house show. Like, it's time. Like, I'm not mad at it at all. What I will say is, I'm trying to think, who is the tag team women's champions? I don't know. Oh, it's Candice and Sonya. And it's been a while since Sonya had gold, because last year they had her fighting against Charlotte, and that storyline was terrible. It was terrible. It was also terrible because I'm like, Sonya has a background in MMA, and they not letting homegirl use it, or she not choosing to use it. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, it's his time. I feel like he wants to hold off on it, just like how Nia Jax did the ACLs in her knees, just to have the moment with Tamina, because Tamina never had a WrestleMania moment. I feel like he wants to do that to get the title. But I'm like, if you have the surgery after, and it takes a while for it to recover, or physical therapy, you still gonna have to give up that title. Like, yeah, it's gonna be under your name, but you still gonna have to give it up. They're gonna have to have they're gonna have to have an interim champion. One or the other. And then after that, it was I want to say it was Charlotte and Iyo, which honestly I thought was gonna be Charlotte and Bayley, because she kicked Bayley in the face before she got missed. But that was a good match. It was a long match, which I was surprised because, like I said, women always get shorted. It was good because both of the women are athletic. Like Charlotte always, I feel like mostly deals with a powerhouse, but Charlotte is very agile for her to be as tall as she is. So for her to deal with someone that's just as agile, it was a good match. It was a good match out. Um, and I was like, Bailey, girl, you on the sideline commenting, why you not helping Iyo or whatever? I was like, at least win or something. Didn't help, was going to help. Then Shotzi came up, she got scared, played a little scared Joan. I'm not scared, tried to play scared. Then they went back to the locker room. Her bag had her face with the thing in it. She was she was a little shook because she was leaving, and Iyo was like, where you going? You supposed to help me. I'm like, right, what's the point of having a group and you ain't out here? Okay. Um, After that was after that I think was Santos and Theory, which was honestly a good match. Because Theory is still growing, I feel like, in his wrestling. That's why I'm surprised that they let him have the U.S. title as long as he did, because he might be a good wrestler with the basics, like how they teach you in NXT and stuff like that. But this is sports entertainment, so you have to entertain on top of know how to wrestle. And I don't feel like he has the entertainment factor yet. I feel like he does. He just does the basics. He doesn't have the thing to entertain and get the crowd riled up, um, or really kind of cut a good promo. But at the same time, I feel like he's the second most hated heel after Dominik. Like Roman, I think is third, but whatever. But yeah, I feel like when he grows into that more, he's going to be really good. Like, I don't know how long he's been on main roster. I don't know if it was last year or whatever, but if it's a year, he has to grow into that. I feel like with house shows, I don't know if they do promo like on house shows, but if they do promos on house shows that you wrestle and you learn that, like, that'll help your craft, perfect your craft. Because honestly, like I said before, the best men I feel like on the mic are Seth, Montez Ford, Austin Woods, um, LA Knight, and I'm trying to think of who else. I think it's just them four, like the Usos together. But solo wise, I think Jay over Jimmy. Um, and then I'm talking about who's currently wrestling, not who's wrestled and went on acting like John Cena or who wrestled in the past. I'm talking about currently. Um, Also, I think for women, it would be Bianca, of course. That's good on the mic. Liv, love her. Um, Becky Lynch. Like, Bailey has her moments, but like when she was on the thing commentating, it was like, haha, some loser. And I was like, what? I was like, that don't even make sense. Like, that doesn't make sense at all. Um, I don't know. Rhea tries to give more of the terror thing. I'm going to hurt you and I'm going to beat you. But outside of that, she doesn't really have anything. So for me, it'll be them three. Yeah, just them three. Um, Maybe Ronda, because people love to hate her. But that would be it for like the people that cut the best promos. And I even know Roman has gotten significantly better. Especially when I was watching clips of like when it was him and John was like, "This is a promo, kid. You gotta learn how to cut it." And he called John a B or whatever, and I was like, and he was like, and because he didn't know what else to say. I was like, since then he's gotten better because he's good at playing the narcissist. But I was like, He's still not in the top 4. So, anyways, um, I didn't expect Oscar to come back and do whatever to. First of all, before that, Charlotte pulled off a whole eyelash and put it in the ring. I was like, what? Then I didn't expect Oscar to come back and gab her like that. You can put it on mute. And then with yeah, and yeah, it's off now. Okay, and then I thought Bianca was gonna help her. Excuse me. I thought Bianca was gonna help her, and then when Jay was dapping up all them people, I was like, them the guys from NXT, like the dude with the hat and stuff. He's like the Italian dude from NXT. I can't remember his name because I watched him on a React thing on YouTube, and they was trying this stuff. Um, and then they had Wes in there. He has a good smile, good teeth, and of course Trick and Carmelo Hayes. But they showed Bobby Lashley, and I was like, where he been? I don't think he had a match, not unless he's injured, since he got traded to SmackDown. And he, to me, is the strongest person in WWE currently. When you constantly have a beef with Brock Lesnar and you defeat him every time, he should not be called the Beast Incarnate, because then Bobby should be called the Beast Tamer, because he done beat him countless times. Just like Roman done beat him a couple times. I think Roman beat him 2-1. So he has 1, Corey has 2. Um, he has beat, I can't remember if he beat Braun or not. They had a fight. But I think Cody beat him in the ring, but he beats him outside the ring. So I'm like, I don't know. Um, yeah, and then he was talking to Trick and Carmelo, Bobby. I was like, that's nice. And then Butch coming up and talking to Adam Pearce about the North American title with Dom and treating. First of all, that's the first time I heard Butch talk. That's first of all. I love Butch. I love that hand thing he do. And then Shawn Michaels coming out. And somebody was like, "So everybody's just coming out for SmackDown, huh?" I said, because it's in Orlando. I was like, most of the stars live in Orlando or Tampa. They could just go up leave their house and go up the street. Like, it's not that hard. So I'm just pissed off because I don't care if y'all talking about, oh, it was sanctioned with Dom and not with Solo. Y'all made Solo give up his title after he won the North American title and give it back to an NXT, and he made history as being the first person to defend it on NXT and win. And y'all knew y'all was calling that man to the main roster. But y'all send Dom and them to NXT and he wins the title, and then make him do it and fight it on SmackDown, and he still retains the title. Which honestly, I thought in my head either something was going to happen, like Wes was going to come out and have and mess it up and get Bush disqualified from it for hitting Dom, or it was going to be him helping Butch winning. So when that didn't happen and Pretty Deadly came out, I was like, what? But that's because Ridge had came out. He has Elton had separated shoulder. But what was funny was Kit Wilson. I can't remember his name. My man's ran with when Butch and Ridge came out, and I was like, "Oh, it's supposed to be your tag team partner. Like, why are you running like a little female dog, and leaving him there? Like, that's not what no brothers and no champions do. Like, why you leave him?" And then homeboy got up out of the wheelchair and ran. But I was like, why he come out here fully dressed, look like he about to go sing in an opera, to do what? Like, if Ridge hit both of y'all, homeboy can defend himself. You can't. Not with that arm. I don't think. I don't even think the cast was on the right arm. Was it on the right arm? I don't think. I think. Well, maybe it was me. And they showed him landing On the one, yeah, it was on the right arm, and showed him laying on his left. So he could with the right, but that's all you can do. Um, and then of course Dom won, and I feel Wade and Cole when they was like, can he win anything by himself? They was like all the batches and stuff he wins is because mommy helped him, and honestly, people hated him because of the fake prison thing, but now I feel like he's more of a heel and he's hated because, excuse me, he's more of a heel and he's hated because we don't know if he could fight, if he could wrestle on his own. To be honest, like every match he's had, someone from Judgment Day or Rhea and them either help him cheat by distracting the ref, or they give him something, or they hit the person, or something like that. Like we don't know what his skill set is anymore. That's the problem. Like you, and then I know it's a contradictory, and it's supposed to be funny, like a funny gag because it's a contradictory. But you can't be talking about, oh, you this hard, da 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 da. You came from the yard. Y'all do this in prison, da da da. That you was in for like 5 hours, and then run behind your girlfriend for everything. Like if you hard like that, you ain't supposed to be running. Okay, nobody's supposed to be running. But I know that's the gag. But like it also irritates people. But I really want him to see him do something by himself. And I understand the frustration that they try to put Priest against Finn for the same situation. Because I'm like, at least with the Usos, you know what I'm saying? For the most part. And with damage control, for the most part. They might cheat every once in a while, but it's not every time. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Judgment Day, it's every time. I think the only time somebody doesn't get help is Rhea. I think she's the only one that don't get help. And I mean, they're not gonna hit a female, but I'm saying like the men ain't gonna distract. You know what I'm saying? Like she's the only one. Like everybody else get help. And then which was crazy. It was funny. If that would have been the ending of the show, that would have been a funny ending. That would have been a hilarious ending. Um, it could have ended with that. It could have ended with. It honestly could have ended with. And then after that, it was a contract thing. It was a tribal versus the tribal chief combat situation. He ripped up the contract, and then they shook on it. And I thought he was gonna low blow him. Then he leave out the ring, and Solo creeping up behind him, like, all right, I got Roman's back. Then he looked confused because he like Roman ain't hit, you ain't hit Jay, so he spike him. Roman catch it, Jay kick him, and that wasn't no fake kick. You could tell when somebody like that and you play like this, but he really kicked him because that time, and and you could tell not unless he's a really good actor, because Solo looked dazed for a second, like, dang bro, you ain't have to kick me that hard for real. And then he was doing it like for a while, and I was like, yeah, he kicked him for real. And I was like, if Jay stand with Solo, it's gonna be discussion when they get home. I was like, because I know he gotta be staying with one of his brothers. I know both of them stay in Orlando, more than likely. I said, so he I know he probably like, dang, after they leave and go home, like, you ain't have to do, you know what I'm saying? Um, I wonder who was at the dark match though. That's the only thing about it. I've been a live show. Who was at the two dark matches prior to the live taping, and who did the dark match after the live taping. Um, but yeah, but that been the ending and stuff, and them showing the close up of Roman talking like how the Rock and stuff used to do. I was like, that was cool. We already kind of knew what was gonna happen. It was kind of anticlimactic. Like we could have left it. We could have ended it. The main event could have been Charlotte and Iyo for real, in my opinion. It could have been Charlotte and Iyo, or it could have been Santos and Theory, or like showing next week, or it could have been um what's who was it? Yeah. Butch and Dominik. Like the Butch and Dominik ending wouldn't have been a good one, but it probably would have been better than the bloodline one. And that's just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Oh, another thing. They fight in SummerSlam, right? Is for Roman and them? It's the title thing or whatever. But is it for the titles too, or is it just for the title of being tribal chiefs? Because I'm confused. That's the only thing I'm confused about. Oh, and then when they talk about SummerSlam, it's gonna be Oscar, Bianca, and Charlotte for a triple threat match. We knew that then. Like, why y'all try to think, oh, we gonna keep making Oscar? And I know it's the build up, stuff like that. But once Charlotte came back, because you know she'd be like Roman, she'll be gone for some months and then come back. So once she be in the back. So once she come back and was like, I'm next in line, and then Beyonce, I said it's gonna be a triple threat. I said that the first time. I tweeted that weeks ago. That's why I was like, somebody need to hire me as a writer, or somebody looking at my tweets, or somebody that's in the writing department. Things like me, because for the most part, 95% of the time, I'll be right on the money. I'm just saying. I need to take my hair out so good. Because Tina's like, I don't want it. And I'm about to. I'm not about to. Not on video. But my son is watching 2 hours of the evolution of Jey Uso. But I don't know. What is this thing on YouTube called, Pooh?
The Rise of Jey Uso.
That's what he's watching. The Rise of Jey Uso. That's his favorite. Because on his WWE 2K22-23, he makes a character, and it's because his name is LJ. His character name is LJ Uso. Anyways, you guys, I hope you have a great week. I gotta post up my Smackdown review from last week because I was actually there at the show. My son and I got last minute tickets. You'll see it in the video I post up. But so I'm a week behind. So y'all forgive me. And then I just found out some news today, which changes and makes sense about a lot of stuff that's been going on. So my face is like, and I don't know, and this is me bare-faced, so I'm looking at like my skin and stuff because I don't really wear makeup. I'm like, I need to get my life outside of probably the color of my hair. Probably couldn't tell my age, but just say that I'm gonna just say, if people wonder about my age, I'm the age of the average wrestler that's on the main roster right now. Anyways, I kind of miss Monday Night Raw, even though I never watched the whole thing in one night because I either always get sidetracked playing a game. More than likely, I put my son to bed, I come back, I watch it till maybe like 10, and then I'm reading, and then I doze off. So I always end up having to catch in the second half the next day or something. That's why and then for a while I was staying up till 11, but I'm like, it's late as hell, especially when I had to be to work at 8. I'm like, it's 11. I gotta get up 5:36. Like, I'm not, and then I gotta get up a 9-year-old that doesn't like to get up. I is not that dedicated. Okay, Jimmy look cute right there. But see, I got a problem because your daddy looked like them. Like, they could be related. My son, I was told by multiple people that my son looked like he could be related to the Usos. They were like, and ever since my son was little, they thought he was mixed. He was lighter. He got a tan. So when he was a baby, he had curly black hair. And then he had hair that was down here. I used to cornroll every week. And this one lady from Africa, she was like, is he mixed? I was like, no, he's black. Mind you, I'm red bone. Daddy's light skin. And my mom is chocolate. My dad is high yellow. His mom is red bone. His dad is brown skin. So, our colors, siblings are of rainbows. You know, in the black family, you can have someone that's real light and someone real black, same parents. Okay, so they looked at him and was like, "Is he mixed?" I'm like, "No." It was like, "Is he black and Italian?" I'm like, "No, he's black." It was like, "Is he black and Puerto Rican?" No, he's black. So then, like, my boss is Italian from Jersey, her and her husband, and she used to always talk about her son. Her son and my son are the same color, skin color. They got tan, same skin color. My son has sandy blonde hair like mine, so it's like blonde right here, and then it's like chestnut brown here, and then it gets darker. Like you kind of see the light right here. And my son's hair is the same way, and her son's hair was that way. And my mom was like, "I keep telling people he black. My friends have mixed grandchildren," and they was like, "Our grandchild is mixed." And then she said, "He looked just like LJ." And I showed LJ, she was like, "And he's black." And I'm like, I said, that's what we be talking about when we as black people say we make all colors. That you can make every color from us. We are the starters. You know what I'm saying? Like Africa and the Middle East back in the day when it was Pangea created all of, so like every span, like, and it wasn't surprising that people thought my son looked Samoan, because Samoan, when you read about them, they are mixed African descent, Oceania, which is like New Zealand, Australia, and then a little bit of Asian, and then and then someone said that the Asian community and the black community are very close with, like, not just features, but like culture, stuff like that. They read, and honestly, I was surprised, because all people of color we are so much alike. It don't matter what family, Indian, black, Hispanic, Middle East, we all got family members that are conservative, this. But for me, I thought it was people that were Hispanic that were really closely to us. But if you think about it, I don't even know I got on that race thing. If you think about it, it was more so Hispanic people were closer to Native Americans, and that's because them, just like the Native Americans, are indigenous to this country and indigenous. So them two used to breed alike and share cultures. You know what I'm saying? Versus people of the Asian community are basically people from Africa that branched off, and then their eyes became like that because of the weather and the climate and stuff. But they are. So that was interesting to me. But my son, LJ, who's gotten darker, it's my little love bug. Bloodline, Alpha Academy, New Day. Do you like, right? Bloodline, Alpha Academy, New Day? Are your top three? Who your top three? Wrestling. Groups or... Yeah. Number one, Usos? Who's number two? Alpha Academy or Bloodline? Or New Day?
And to be honest, you want to talk?
Who are yours?
Second had to be New Day. New Day. They had more comedy with like the Usos and stuff, and they're a great tag team too.
No.
Number three has to be, bro. It has to be Alpha Academy, because they're like one of the funniest tag teams, and they stay strong.
No, because at one point Alpha was number two. You change, you go back and forth. Today, New Day's been together for 9 years. So not in 2014, July 21st, 2014, when you were almost 4 months old, they formed together and made the New Day. That's crazy. They've been a group as long as you've been born. Oh, sorry, you guys. I'm caught up. This daggone balloon. Anyways, I wish you guys have a great
But
day.
anyway,
Sorry to get on my rant about.
number four had to
racing.
be. Number 4 had to be the Hardy Boys.
That's because I told you about the Hardy Boys. I thought you were gonna say Street Profits.
Number 5 had to be Street Profits.
But
Hardy
racing and everything and
Boys-
stuff like that. But I'm fascinated by different cultures and different races because that's how I grew up. I grew up in the DC area. It was a melting pot. So I love going to different friends' house and experiencing different things. So if I bring it up, it's not like a racist type thing. It's a fascination thing. Like I love when I see people, especially in the world today where there's so much hatred. I love seeing people from different groups getting together. This is one of the reasons why I love WWE because there's so many languages and cultures and celebrated women, men, gay, straight, Christian, all the way to atheist, Asian, Hispanic, Native American, black, white, whatever. So I just love it. Like to me, it's everything because when you represent everything, there's not a group that doesn't feel like they're not seen. You know what I'm saying? Especially being like how we talk about people, black women, like they felt certain people felt like they could do something because they saw someone that looked like them on TV. Like that makes stuff so much better. And yeah, when you're young, you don't really know. So like when we were growing up, we just saw the Hardy Boys. We didn't think about because we didn't grow up. Oh look, they're white. No. We was like, oh, those are brothers who flip. Me and my sister's like, we like to do flips. We're sisters. You know what I'm saying? But when if you saw like when we saw like Jacqueline and stuff like that on TV, we was like, oh, she looked like me. You know what I'm saying? So it makes a difference. But I saw that May 20th, 2022. So, excuse me. Just letting y'all know. The genius that is Paul Heyman. I can't believe my son got me watching this because it's basically the coming up of the bloodline because I've seen it. Anyways, I'm going to say it before I said it again. You guys have a good night and have a good week. And if you didn't have a good day today, you can start all over tomorrow. Just be blessed that you are breathing because you could have been 6 feet under and now you got a chance today to try to make anything right or get anything accomplished. The fact that you got out of bed today just set that off of your list because some people feel so bad they can't even get out of bed. Some people are bedridden and wish they could get out of bed and couldn't. So either way, you're blessed. Okay, love you all. Bye.